Hey everybody, my name is Bailey Novak and I am reporting from Halfmoon Lake, Saskatchewan, located just west of St. Walburg, Saskatchewan. I chose this site for my soil pits mainly due to how it was mapped. Being near the forest, we have a lot of luvasolic soils around here which are not very representative of what you would find in the grasslands. However, SKSIS mapped this area as being a Makwa orthic black soils, which are predominantly orthic black chernozems. When we look around this landscape, you can see that the surface expression is hummocky, which is typical of the parent material glacial till. This glacial till was caused by the retreat of the last glacial episode, which would have occurred approximately 11,000 years ago. When we look over this way, however, it is a valley that has a creek running through it. So, I believe that the parent material in this river valley would either be fluvial or lacustrine, depending on whether this was part of Halfmoon Lake in the past or if it was an ancient river that had flown through here. The general climate of this region is subhumid, meaning that these soils are exposed to a higher amount of precipitation than your average grassland soil. It is relatively flat at the position that I am standing in, as I am on the summit of one of the hummocks. So the soil would receive a fair amount of water infiltration at this position. The dominant vegetation in this area is alfalfa along with grasses. So the important plant here would be the alfalfa due to its nitrogen fixing abilities. This would allow it to return N into the soil for plants to use and grow. This site has been used as pasture land as far as my knowledge goes. So this would result in plant nutrients being returned back into the soil via manure, increasing fertility and biomass created. So let's look at the soil. So in my soil profile, there are three very distinct horizons going through it. So let's go through them. So from 0 to 15 centimeters, we have an AP horizon. Now I determined it was an AP horizon because of my previous knowledge of this being turned into pasture land, and so they would have plowed it and seeded it. And the fact that there's this distinct horizon boundary across here showing that the plow would have went right over on the surface. So yeah, from 0 to 15, we have an AP that was textured as a sandy clay loam with a matrix color of 10YR 2/2. The primary structure of this was found to be subangular blocky, and there is no effervescence at all. There is also some small coarse fragments within this horizon. Moving on to the B, what I determined to be the biggest giveaway of it being a new horizon was the color value. As you can see, it is a lot lighter in color and a lot more red. The texture change was also different. It went to a sand from a sandy clay loam, and there's a lot more coarse fragments throughout this horizon. As you can see, it is filled with little rocks. So from 15 to 40, the B horizon occurred, and I classified this as a BM. So moving on to the C horizon, it started at 40 and it goes all the way down to 75 centimeters plus. It also is still riddled with a bunch of coarse fragments. However, there is a very distinct color change from the B to the C. It is less red in color, but the texture is still the same. It is still a sand texture. So the primary structure of both the C and the B would end up being a granular structure, a fine granular, but they have this large amount of coarse fragment in it. So there was no effervescence in the C horizon either. So bringing that all together, I ended up determining that this soil was a orthic black chernozem based on its color value and the thickness of the A horizon. And yeah, so that is my soil. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful year.